what she said.
The topic of what troubles our healthcare system is not new, but lately the woes related to long wait times and barriers to innovation, despite significant investment, have once again dominated headlines. Joining us today is a woman who has lots to say about all of this and some great insights moving forward. Welcome, Heather Shantora, the CEO of InnoCare.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the program.
Now, Heather, people complain about our healthcare system. The question is that just a first world problem, or do we really have serious issues?
That's a great question. As a proud Canadian, I'm very proud of our nationalized healthcare system, and I think that we need to be thankful for that. But I do think there's opportunity for innovation. If you look at any other industry, they have innovated their industries using technology, and I think healthcare is lagging behind in that. And as a CEO of a health tech company, one of the things we bring to bear is technology for clinicians so they can treat more effectively and see more patients, and that obviously has a beneficial impact on wait times.
Well, for people like us who think of healthcare in terms of doctors and nurses, what is it that we should be excited about, or what is it that we should know?
That is a great question, and more Canadians should know that you can actually go to primary care clinicians, and that includes your physiotherapist, your chiropractor, and these disciplines. If you actually choose to go to them first, it'll help reduce the clogging in our general practitioners' offices. So
I thought you needed a referral, though.
See, that's a good point. Nobody realizes you actually, in most provinces, don't need a referral.
Really?
And if you do, it's actually usually related to a car accident or work-related injury. But in most cases, your extended health benefits will cover it, and you don't need a referral. So 1/3 of the people in a GP's office actually have musculoskeletal injuries and are just going to get referred out to physio anyway. So
and they're taking up the time.
Correct. So let's just get them where they need to be and get Canadians healthier faster using technology.
So what role does technology play?
Several. So one, the simplest example is with the increase in regulations and privacy law, et cetera, there's an increased burden on physicians and healthcare practitioners to chart and take care of all the administrative aspects of their role. But doing that allows less time for patient care. So that's increasing wait times because they're spending more time doing these administrative tasks. By building something like e-charting, which we have done, we make it incredibly efficient and intuitive so that the clinician can chart really quickly and go on to seeing the next patient. If we can free them up an hour a day, that's a couple more patients they can see every single day.
That could well be the hour I wait to see.
Exactly.
Because honestly, I have been to my doctor's office and, first appointment, I make the first appointment, and then found out that they made 4 appointments because sometimes people don't show up. So then I was actually the 4th person in the door. So I'm waiting an hour.
Yes, like an airline.
Yes.
Yeah. And what we don't use is technology for smart wait times, things like that. So if someone cancels, they can better manage the schedule, get you in earlier if you were sick. We don't use any of that in healthcare.
Well, what is the resistance? Where is that coming from to using this? Because everywhere else people want to get rid of the silly work.
I think it's adoption. I think we've looked to eHealth Ontario and the government to put this technology into the healthcare system. And I think what we actually need to do is actually look to private healthcare. Electronic medical records are run by like companies such as mine or big companies like TELUS. Our companies are the ones that should be bringing this technology to bear for the clinicians. And we're not, because the pressure isn't there. And I think the pressure isn't there because Canadians are looking to the governments to do it, when in fact in any other industry, banking, airlines, it's the private sector who has forced the technology improvements. And then the physicians and clinicians would happily use it. It decreases their administrative burden and burnout.
I don't know anybody who is looking to the government for efficiency. I think most people feel it's forced upon them,
Yeah, except if we look at, eHealth Ontario, its reason for existence is to create one electronic medical record clearinghouse so that all our different electronic medical records talk to each other. But that's an example of where we've looked to the government for efficiency, or an arm's length government, agency. Thank you, for efficiency. But to your point, we don't look to the government for efficiency in any other area. So it inconsistent with the way we've handled things elsewhere.
Okay, bottom line, if we want an efficient healthcare system, which I think Canadians do, Kate doesn't want to wait at the doctor. She's got other things to do.
I got a show to put on.
Yeah. What do we do?
I think we need to demand it of our clinicians, so the physicians or whomever's choosing their healthcare products. And I think that companies such as ours need to do a better job speaking to Canadians and speaking to physicians and clinicians about what's available to them. I actually think they're so busy, they don't have time to shop around for better technology. So we need to bring it to them.
Okay, so what I did was I sent my doctor a bill for my time. And I got a phone call saying, okay, that was very funny. I said, well, it wasn't. It wasn't funny to me. My appointment was at 8:30 and I wasn't out of there until 9:45. So I missed a whole lot of other things. So I sent you a bill for my time. That's what I charged for my time. And it was like, well, I'm not paying it. And I said, okay, but I don't want to wait anymore. And since I did that, I haven't had to wait anymore.
Oh, wow. Good for you. I do think as the pressure on the OHIP budget continues, more things will get delisted. So physio, chiro, massage, for example, people have to pay out of pocket for. Optometry, dentistry, you don't wait in any of their offices because they know that you have a choice to go wherever you want. Whereas that's not true more on the OHIP side of things. I think as we go forward, it is going to be more of a demand-centered, patient-centric system, and we're going to see less and less of that because people aren't willing to wait.
But Heather, is it really? Because I know a lot of people who, I've had the same doctor for 30 years, but I know people who can't even get a doctor. So they're really afraid to make a stink because they're hoping somebody will take them on. So
I do think to a degree that's generational. There are studies that actually show that kind of people over 50 have a revered respect for their physician, but people in their 20s and 30s are going in and saying, hey, I self-diagnosed on Google, this is what I have and this is what I need. Now, physicians hate that, but it's a very different attitude towards the doctors. And so I do think that the doctors, clinicians, everyone in the healthcare profession is going to have to catch up to that because the attitude is changing and there's a lot less leniency. Again, bringing it back to technology, people without physicians, it's because the physicians are too busy to accommodate them. If we get technology into these clinics, they will be more efficient with their time. They can see more patients and get Canadians better faster.
So what would you like regular Canadians to do, to say to their doctors or to say to the medical community? I mean, how can we help you help us?
I think, for example, if they chart on paper or if they have wait times, I do think that we need to voice that feedback and make them aware that there are options out there. I think the other thing is patients should ask for more seamless holistic care. So, for example, information should be shared between their MD, their specialist, and their physiotherapist. That doesn't happen today. And patients don't have access to their own records.
Why doesn't that happen? Is it because of privacy? I mean, now I just had a whole series of cholesterol blood tests done, and I went and I could look online through the lab. I could see my results. Not that I could read them, but I could get them if I wanted them to. But is it a privacy matter that people don't share between the disciplines?
Excellent question. If you look at banking, personal finances are probably the next closest thing to our heart, to our health. And those corporations, all in competition, are able to share information for your benefit because we demanded it. We're not going to take our paycheck and stand in line on a Friday to get our cash out anymore. That would be ludicrous. We'll use our app and things like that. We just need to make the same demands in healthcare. In the case of the labs, so they're private. They use a different set of technology. Those technologies need to talk to the physician electronic medical records. So really, the physician electronic medical records and the physicians need to be willing to have the ancillary services link in and share information between the two for the patient's benefit.
looking forward, do you think this is going to cost us more or less?
Less. Absolutely less. Every other sector, technology has improved efficiency.
How much less? Because we have a massive healthcare budget.
Mm-hmm.
Percentage-wise, let's say.
I'm going to be salacious and say 30%. I really so strongly believe that we're doing things inefficiently today, and we have a massive opportunity to improve things for Canadians.
Wow. So 30%.
So speak up. Speak up to your doctor, right?
Well, I'll speak up to my doctor.
Okay. And have any final thoughts then for people listening to this that aren't members of the medical community, hopefully going, I need to get this for my office?
I think, again, it's just advocating for the interconnectedness of all healthcare professionals for our own interest, because what we need to be healthier Canadians and to get better faster is making sure that we are having a holistic approach to our care, and every area of our care is talking to each other to make sure we're not doing anything that's contraindicated or will yield a worse result. We need to demand interconnectivity of our healthcare professionals.
Heather Shantora, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is What She Said on The Jewel. Stay with us.